There's another place that God appears to have laid out His plan in advance, and that's in some subtleties, and one of which I'd like to share with you in Genesis chapter 5, a genealogy. The genealogy in Genesis chapter 5 goes from Adam, the first man, down through Noah. And in Genesis chapter 5, if you wade through that, I encourage you to make a list of the names. Adam gave birth to Seth. Seth, Enosh. Enosh, Kenan. Kenan, Mahalalel. Mahalalel, Jared. Jared, Enoch. Enoch, Methuselah. Methuselah, Lamech. And Lamech was the father of Noah. Let's take these names. 10 names. But see, the problem is we need to know what the names mean. And if you have a study Bible or a source, a lexicon, what have you, you know that the name Adam means man. As you go through your Bible, when these names are typically first introduced, most of your marginal footnotes will tell you what the name means. Adam means man. Seth means appointed. Enosh means mortal. Kenan means sorrow. Mahalalel means the blessed God. Jared means shall come down. Enoch means teaching. Methuselah means his death shall bring. Lamech means the despairing. And the word Noah means rest or comfort. Now, let's read that genealogy as a sentence. Man is appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down, teaching that his death shall bring the despairing comfort. Isn't that wild?
So this is being built on the foundation of Chuck Missler's work, which is expressing the meaning of the names etymologically in the genealogy. So he was going on the genealogy of Seth, which is the other genealogy with the other seed. And here we're going to see the other seed. So this is Genesis being the book of genes. Genesis chapter 4, verse 16. And Cain went out of the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of the garden. So this genealogy is going to be different because it actually happens out of the presence of God. And then this is out of the presence and out of the garden at the same time. And this is after the first man had committed the first murder, etc. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mahujalel, and Mahujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, the name of the other was Zillah. And Ada bore Jabal. He was father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle harp and organ. And Zillah, she too bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my own wounding, and a young man to my own hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 77-fold. So here is a poem that he is saying he's actually boasting about what he did, which is following the bloodline of Cain. So it's just showing the difference in their lives and lifestyles. And here we also see the first instance of a person having more than one wife. So this is where it actually comes from. So this is eventually the line that gets flooded. So and Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and called his name Seth. For God said she has appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who Cain slew. And so to Seth, to him also there were born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of God. So people began to call the name of God in the line of Seth, in the after Enos, but this did not happen in this line. Instead, we see that in their line they were actually boasting of murder, but you do see that there's some similarities in certain names in the different genealogies, which is going to be interesting very soon. So this is the first part of this. So now we're going to go even deeper, and then we're going to look into the prophetic names, meanings, and implications. And then his genealogy comes first, and then here it is. So Cain means acquired or possession. And then we have Enoch, which means teaching or initiation, right? And then we have Irad, which means city of witness or fugitive. And then we have Mahujael, which means smitten by God or destroyed of God. And then we have Methusael, not to be mistaken with Methuselah, but Methusael means a man who is of God, or means the death of God. And then we have Lamech, which means the powerful or the despairing. And Lamech is the first polygamist, and his children end up meaning he ends up having Jabal, which means producer or he who moves. And then we also have Jubal, which means the player or he who flows. So Jabal was into tents and livestock, cattle and capital, and then Jubal was into music. And then we also have Tubal Cain, one of Lamech's children, which means flowing from Cain or worldly possession yet again, and the sister was named Nama, which means pleasant or seductress. So here, when we read the prophetic message, this means a possessed, acquired teaching leads to a city of fugitives, smitten by God. Man's death, attempting to be as God, leads to powerful production, entertainment, technology, and pleasure. So these are the names read, and they are very different from the line of Seth, because this is the line that was building the city. You have one Enoch who was walking with God, and we have the other Enoch who was sitting in the city. So this is the line that ended up having the flood as God's judgment on earth. So these are the creators of industries to do with entertainment, technology, and pleasure. This is in their name. This is the genealogy and the prophetic insight. So we can explore more treasures hidden in the Bible's genealogies, and this one is one very exciting one.